I'd like to start off by saying something. When you go to up the hill to the forest area or to an uninhabited cave, or you come out at night, you travel at night, or you go to the old house or the old hotel, sometimes there are unseen beings around. So you have to be more careful. Generally, when we go to an area where we think there might be unseen beings, we try to mentally talk to them. Give metta to them. And don't talk too much, because when you talk too much, your mind is very scattered. And also don't think of this, don't think of that. It's best if you can do some chanting, simple chanting like Namo Buddhaya. Keep on chanting Namo Buddhaya. That will steady your mind. And they cannot affect you so much. If your mind is strong, they cannot affect you. And your mind is weak, they can affect you. Last time we had one devotee in Penang. She prepares packed lunch for office workers. So around lunchtime, she will go on her motorcycle to deliver the rice. So she told me she had accident 3 times. So I told her every time she go on the road to chant, whatever chant you like to do. Namo Buddhaya is the simplest. You can also chant Itipiso, Bhagava, Arahang, etc. So she followed the advice. After that, no accident. There are many cases where people traveling on the road, they suddenly they are controlled by some spirit, and they get involved in some accident. But if your mind is concentrated, the spirit cannot control you. And you go to deserted areas like the forest or what. Sometimes there are fierce devas there, or fierce ghosts. And they can read your mind. If they know your mind is weak, they can bully you. Also, when we practice the Buddha's teachings, we practice dana, sila, bhavana, then our blessings increase, and we have virtue, then we have beings protecting us also. There is an Indian belief that for every sila you keep, there is one deva protecting you. So the more sila you keep, the more devas will protect you. Just because we don't see them, a lot of people are ignorant. When we learn the Dhamma, we know that there are many unseen beings around. Okay, now we come to Q&A. Anything?
Bante, I want to ask if whether these unseen beings can enter a holy place like vihara, or even bother us when we are chanting or meditate.
Whether a being can enter a holy place?
Yes.
If it's a holy place, generally there will be devas that will protect the place. Yeah. But sometimes some people's karma is no good, so they bring along the spirit with them. Spirit is inside them. Last time I went to one town in Kedah, Gurun actually. Then the president of the Buddhist society, he drove me to see the place. Then we passed one town, had a funny name, Ruat, R-U-A-T. So I asked the man, why this name so funny? It's not an English name, it's not a Malay name, it's not a Chinese name. Then he told me, actually that place now is a Malay kampung, Malay village. So he told me originally the name is Wat, W-A-T, because maybe 100 years ago it was a Thai village. And then later, because of the Second World War and all that, many of the Thais left, and then so later it was occupied by Malays. So we were driving along the road. He showed me one house, but there was one area no house. And he told me why there's no house, because when they build a house there, they get disturbed. And why they get disturbed? Because that place was a Sima Hall. Last time, what they call Sima Hall, Uposatagara, where the monks do the chanting. Yeah. So where the monks do the chanting, last time they would put stones around to protect the place. So maybe up to now the devas still guard the place. So anybody go and stay there, they will get disturbed. Any other question? Can you turn the fan slower, because the fast fan will take the sound, go into the sound of the fan will go into the mic.
Namo Buddhaya Bante. I wanted to ask how to neutralize our bad karma.
How to what? Get rid of our bad karma.
消ว่าลังเงไพ่
เสี่ยวเกียบมา
เสี่ยวว่าลังเงออกเกียบอันในคนละกี่โตขวดกวนatau naka จำค่อยอีตัวเสี่ยวว่าลังเงไพ่เกียบบุnaka ว่าลังกูเจ้าปัดแม่ว่าลังเงแปะโบว่าลังแม่อีเช่าอัวต้องatauกูเจ้าอีสิกูเจ้าเสี่ยวปัดตัวnaka ทะกี่โตเก่าโลจะเรียกว่าขบวนมิสุกะขดเก่ากันว่าปัดกองซวยหวยเสี่ยวปัดกองซวยขดเก่าในคนนั้นว่าเสี่ยวเสียได้ไพ่เกียบคำเสียบันติ
in original Buddhism, we don't get rid of our bad karma by this chamhoi, is asking for forgiveness, chanting for forgiveness and all that, chanting the Buddha's name and all that, is not the way. In the Buddha's teaching, original Buddha's teaching, we have to do a lot of good deeds. The Buddha gave a simile, umpama. The Buddha said, suppose you have salt. Last time, the Buddha's time, salt is not fine salt. It is one lump. So the Buddha said, you take a lump of salt, you put in a cup of hot water, you stir. Then the salt will melt. Then you drink the water, it's very salty. Yeah. Then the Buddha said, you take the same size of salt, you put in the river, and then you stir the river water, and then you drink the river water. It is not salty. Yeah. So the Buddha says the water represents the good karma. The salt represents the evil karma. So you need a lot of good karma to overcome the evil karma. So because when we do evil karma, then we regret hui. So the evil karma disturbs our mind because we regret, we have remorse. Yeah. So, but when we do a good karma, then we are happy. We're happy, then we forgot about the bad karma. For example, maybe one day you're very angry with your mother, then you shout at your mother. Then after that you feel very sorry. How can I shout at my mother? Then after that, if you say sorry, it doesn't help very much. Instead, maybe you bring her out, bring her what she likes to eat, you buy her what she likes to wear, dress she likes, you buy her, you take her to visit her friends, so she's happy. So when she's happy, you are also happy. Then you forgot about the scolding her already. Yeah. So we have to do a lot of good karma to make us happy. Then when we are happy, we don't think of the bad karma. Okay. So the good karma is dana, sila, bhavana. Dana is charity, posi, pusa, and then sila is keeping the precepts so that we don't harm any being. And then bhavana is the hardest to do. You have to study the Buddha's words, you have to meditate, and then you have to change your character, see all your faults and change your faults, so that you become a better person. Yeah. So dana, sila, bhavana, very important.
Okay, and the last one I want to ask about the medicine of the Buddha's time. I have ever heard lim kaki jiu zui lah, ka soya chang itu medicine. Can you explain to me about that? Drinking our pure water and mango, because I've ever heard from a monk that it is very good for health. Thank you, Bante.
I didn't catch your question. You said, ask me to explain what? Linghun?
No, I've ever heard that monks have ever said to me, "Masa, wang cai ki kan kaki lim kaki jiu zui kong tui wang sin ku jia ho la tui sin te ho."
Oh, lim jiu ah.
Tu si jia jia tau.
Drinking urine. He's asking whether drinking urine is good for you. Actually, the Buddha asked the monks, because during the Buddha's time, they don't have all the good medicine that we have nowadays. So the Buddha taught the monks this Indian practice to keep the urine. Our urine actually is a medicinal thing. Our urine actually is an antiseptic. In India, if you cut yourself, you put urine as an antiseptic. A lot of people think that urine is dirty. Urine is not really dirty, because if urine is dirty, you'll be dead. Why? Because your urine comes from your blood. Your blood will go into the kidney, and it is clean. Yeah. So the excess sugar will come out in the urine. The excess salt will come out. The excess vitamins will come out. All the excess things you don't need will come out. That's why urine has a lot of. It is potent. It is quite strong. If you put it in the plants will be very healthy. Yeah. So if your urine is dirty or your urine is impure, then you'll be a dead person because it's in your blood. Yeah. So urine is one of the few things that our body can accept because it's from the blood. So for example, if you have an ear problem, if you put medicine into your ear, it's probably going to make your ear worse, because your ear won't accept the medicine you put in. It will throw out the medicine. So it will start to leak, liquid will start to come out. And when the liquid starts to come out, it becomes smelly. So last time my nephew, he had ear problem, maybe because when he bathed, the water went inside. And sometimes people like to take the cotton bud and put inside the ear. You put too far into your ear, then some of the cotton buds left behind. Then irritate the ear. Irritate the ear, then the ear will start secreting the liquid. So the doctor said, never put anything into your ear. Your ear will clean itself. But there was one thing you can put is urine. If you put urine into your ear, no problem. Your ear can accept. So the Buddha taught the monks that urine actually is a very powerful medicine. And the way the Buddha taught the monks is to keep the urine and put medicinal fruits like kana, olive, kam lam in Cantonese, olive. You cut it and put in the urine. And then like yukam is amla or something. We have the fruit here, the small yellow fruit. It's also very powerful medicine. Very good. So you cut it a bit, then you soak it in the urine, and you keep for 1 week or 2 weeks. But urine, when you keep it, it tends to be smelly. So when you want to drink, harder to drink. But what we can do, like what I do, is before I go to sleep, I drink a lot of water. Because at night when we sleep, we need water to clean our body. When we go to sleep, the body will start cleaning itself. So I drink a lot of water. Say if I go to sleep 9 o'clock or 9:30, I drink a lot of water. 3 hours later, I wake up because my bladder is full. I go to the bathroom. Then I pee. After I pee, I will drink one gulp of urine, one mouthful. And then I take urine and I clean my eyes. I take the cup, I soak my eyes about half a minute, turn my eye here and there, then throw away, then put some more urine and clean the other eye. Surprisingly, the urine also very good for the eyes, because a lot of us, we have eye problem because the eye too dry. A lot of people have dry eyes. Like me, especially because in my early days as a monk, I used to practice sitting, sleeping. I don't lie down. I sit and sleep until so tired you fall asleep sitting. But you do that over many years, you get dry eyes. So it helps a lot. 2 years ago, I started to have a cataract. The eye start to become blur. So I went to see the specialist doctor. The specialist doctor said, after checking me, but he said, now cannot operate. He said, it takes 2 years to mature. When it matures, then can operate. So I came back, I put urine every night. The blurriness went off, cleared off. So you see, urine very powerful. There is also a belief, and I think it's true. If somebody does black magic on you, they put something in front of your house, and then you notice, and you think it's black magic. What do? You pee on it. The ghost also run away. So the Buddha's time, they keep the urine for 1 or 2 weeks. But it's harder to drink, but it's more strong. But if you like, every day you just drink a bit. Don't drink too much. Just a mouthful. But if you are not well, you drink more times.
Bhante, can I ask a question about meditation? As I practice, it seems to me that it is not the method of meditation like anapanasati or satipatthana, but it is a sense of quietness and silence which comes. And so what I find now is that when I sit, it is that silence which is more powerful than whatever technique I use. And of course, the silence is not always like a constant thing. The silence is there, But also I know that I'm conscious, I'm aware of the breathing, the anapanasati, and then of course there are always thoughts and there are always feelings sometimes, and that comes in. And when it comes in, the attention shifts to that feeling and to that thought or whatever it is. And after some time, they sort of wiggle here and there. Then after that, it goes back to the quietness and that kind of same plateau, the same kind of silence, and then I go back to the breathing. So that's how I find the meditation progressing now. Can Bhante please comment?
So what's the question?
The question is this the way that meditation goes? Is it natural progression? Do we have to force ourselves to always go on the anapanasati even though we feel that this silence is coming on?
This silence is the beginning of concentration. Okay, so the problem is it's easy to come out of it because it is not your natural everyday state. Yeah, so that is why when we meditate, we need an object to hold our attention. So if we meditate on an object, say like on our breath, mindful of our breath, and then if we are able to fix our attention on the breath, then it will bring you to a deeper state of concentration and quite fast. Anapanasati is mindfulness of the breath is a difficult meditation. It's a difficult meditation, partly because the object is quite fine. But once you get into it, it goes into a deeper state of concentration very fast. Unlike, for example, you do chanting. You do chanting is easier because it's a more rough, coarse object. But you can do chanting for a long time. It doesn't go deep into concentration.
Yeah, but personally, I find that chanting doesn't work very well because chanting is still making use of the mind. The mind just rattles on, chant. It doesn't sort of slows down and settles.
So just now you said the state of silence. If it gets deeper, then your piti and sukha will arise, the delight and the bliss. So for a lot of people, you come to that state and you are unable to enter. This is a problem more with people who are busy, who have responsibilities, who have worries and all that, like lay people. So they put a lot of effort also. They come to that state, they cannot go in because they cannot let go. So you have to experience that piti and the sukha before you come into the jhana.
Thank you, Bhante.
Bhante, if unborn baby aborted accidentally, is it related to karma of the mother or the baby? And where will be the baby reborn?
Can you repeat the first part? He said, if you are born, what?
Unborn baby aborted accidentally.
Aborted baby.
Accidentally aborted.
Oh, accidentally born.
Aborted.
Accidentally aborted. But I don't think there can be an accidental abortion. Unless it's a dead
miscarriage.
fetus. Unless it's a dead fetus, then it just comes out.
Miscarriage.
Miscarriage, that means the baby is dead. So?
Is it related to the karma of the mother or the baby? Or
more of the baby.
So, where will be the baby reborn again?
The baby will, if it's the karma of the baby is to be reborn as a human being, then he will seek another womb, or will come back to that mother. No? He will still be reborn, maybe later. No? But if if it can go into the womb, that means it has the karma to be born as a human being. But sometimes the karma is not strong. Sometimes you get somebody that is born, then after 1 or 2 years, that baby gets cancer and die. Yeah? That means it has a good karma to be born as a human being, but it has the bad karma to have a short life. So our karma is always combined, good and bad, good and bad. So sometimes a person might be born handsome and strong, but if the other karma is no good, might be born in a poor family. Or sometimes a person, because previously he did a lot of dana, born into a rich family, but because others' karma not supporting, maybe born not so intelligent.
Bante, what is your opinion about cloning and tube baby?
Opinion about what?
Cloning.
Cloning.
Yeah.
Cloning and?
Tube baby.
Tube baby. I think as far as Buddhism is concerned, it's not a problem. Not a problem, because in Buddhism, only harming beings, harming other beings is no good. Because in the Buddha's teachings, if a being is born, it's because of the desire to be born. So that being wants to be born, somehow or other it will be born. Okay? So not a problem.
People said that to have a chance to meet Buddhism is a great luck. So what I want to ask is, if I want to meet Buddhism in the next life, what could I do in this life?
If you want to meet the Dhamma again, you have to attain stream entry. Stream entry means you become an Arya. And I mentioned before, the most important thing is to listen to the Buddha's discourses. And listen again and again, again and again. When you understand, then you have seen the Dhamma, and you have understood the Dhamma. You have understood impermanence. Then you have become an Arya. That's the best thing you can get in life. There's nothing more valuable than becoming an Arya, because once you become an Arya, you will never be reborn as a ghost, as an animal, or go to hell. You will only be reborn as a Deva or Devi and a human being. And even you come back as a human being, you have a lot of blessings. You have long life, you have Ayu Vano Sukang Balang. Ayu is long life. Vano is beauty. Sukang is happy, you'll be very happy. Balang, you have strength, either worldly strength or what. So that's the most important thing, to really study the original Buddha's teachings. But one thing you have to be very careful, because now our Buddhism is very mixed. So you have to go back to the original Buddha's teachings, the 5 Nikayas. If you look at my book, we have some Bahasa books there you can take. There's one called Pembebasan. That one is will tell you what to study, what is the original Buddha's teachings.
So becoming an Arya is the best way to meet Buddhism in the next life. And my following up question is, what could I possibly have done in previous life to make me meet Buddhism right now?
Firstly, the Buddha, in the Buddha's discourses, the Buddha said, when a person has gone through samsara long enough, you have suffered long enough, then you become spiritually mature. Okay, when you become spiritually mature, then you want to seek answers. You want to know who made me, why am I born here? I didn't ask to be born here, maybe, or I don't remember. And then, so you want to know a lot of questions. So you start searching. If you are an intelligent person, then you start investigating different religions. When you investigate many religions, and then you come to Buddhism, you will find that Buddhism is very deep, very profound, unlike some other religions. Some other religions are very simple. And then when you start learning the Dhamma, then when you understand some of the Dhamma, you have faith. Yeah, you have faith in the Dhamma, and then you continue to study and practice. Then only you will become an Arya. So if you have not been in samsara long enough, you don't have the spiritual maturity, you won't look for the Dhamma. You want to enjoy life, you want to go karaoke, you want to go casino, you want to go touring here, touring there, going to America, go to Europe, everything. You're not interested in the Dhamma. But if you have your time is ripe, then you will look. In the Bible it says, search and you will find. Knock and the door will be open unto you. Yeah. So you have to search. You have to knock. Knock on every door until you come to the right door.
But I'd like to ask you a question. So in the practice of Satipatthana, of course, we have contemplation of the body, the feelings, the mind, and the Dhamma. So my question is, how do we practice contemplation of the mind?
This contemplation of the mind and contemplation of feelings is not a contemplation that, in my opinion, that will generally bring you to one-pointedness of mind. It is what you practice in everyday life. And that is the seventh factor of the Noble Eightfold Path, Sammasati. Sammasati, you can call it vipassana, contemplation. And that means, and this Sammasati is something you practice not when you are sitting in meditation, but in your everyday life. That means in your everyday life, when you are working, when you are driving, etc., you can contemplate any of the four things, okay, and you can change your object also from one to the other, okay. So as far as the mind and the feelings are concerned, you notice them if they are strong. You're not supposed to keep looking at it all the time, because it's not possible, it's not practical to keep looking into your mind and your feelings all the time. But if your feelings are strong, for example, strong anger arises, and then you must notice. And similarly with thoughts in the mind, when you notice your mind or you contemplate your mind, it means you notice your thoughts. And everyday thoughts you don't pay attention. But if your thoughts, say like greed arises, and then you think greedy thoughts, then you ask and you notice it. But to be able to notice it, you also need a bit of concentration. When your mind has some concentration, then you will notice. If you don't have some concentration, the mind is very scattered, and you will never be able to notice, because it's always going out through the six senses. That's why we practice samatha, to train our mind to focus. That is very important, because even when you listen to the Dhamma talk, you have to be able to focus, to understand. So, if in everyday life unwholesome thoughts arise, you must notice. And after you notice, you must ask yourself, why? So when you ask yourself why, then you know maybe my greed is very strong. I have to control my greed. Or my lust is very strong. I have to control my lust because I'm always thinking of sensual thoughts. Or my anger is very strong. Or my ego is very strong. So only when we notice our weaknesses, then we can change. If we don't notice our weaknesses, how can we change? Yeah. So for most people, they never look inside, so they never see their faults. And sometimes when you want to help that person, you mention his fault, he get very angry, because he never see his own fault. Yeah. So because he doesn't see his fault, he imagines he has no fault. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's easier for somebody else to see your fault than for you to see your fault. For a lot of people. So we practice mindfulness of the mind and these feelings.
Now, Buddhaya Bante, I want to ask Bante's opinion about what if one person was born in non-Buddhism family and then he wanted to learn Buddhism, so very bad. But let's say that his parents were some kind of fanatics to other religion. What would Bante recommend that this man doing to learn Buddhism or not to learn? Thank you.
This one is entirely up to that person. When the person's time is ripe, what he will do whatever he wants to do. So it's all a matter of your will. The Buddha said, if you want something bad enough, your desire is strong enough, nobody can stop you. Nobody can obstruct you. Only thing you got to be sure that you want it, then only you will make the effort. If you're half-hearted, then you never succeed in anything.
Even though that it will result in disobeying his own parents, is it will make him do him a bad karma or good karma?
No, you have to use your brains. If you want to find out about Buddhism and you know your parents are not happy, you don't go and tell your parents. You go and secretly go and find out.
Bante, what is the best way to introduce Dhamma to other people?
Best way to what?
To introduce Dhamma.
Or introduce Dhamma. It depends on whether that person is interested. If that person is interested, only you introduce. If the person is not interested, no point. The person won't want to know. Yeah. So if that person is interested, then you give him some simple book on Buddhism that is easy to understand and which is quite accurate, or some CD to listen. My book in Bahasa is called Pesanan Buddha, Message of the Buddha. And that one is basically talking about the Four Noble Truths. So it's easy to understand.
I have another question. What do you think if we married with a girl with another religion?
It depends lah, because just like a person marry a partner of another race. Sometimes in the beginning, it depends on the couple. Sometimes in the beginning it works very well, then later it doesn't work. Or some people it works very well. So it's all depends. We have some devotees. There's one lady I know married to a Christian, and then in the beginning she goes to church and he goes to the vihara. So both also go lah. And after some time, the man start to learn Buddhism and now become a Buddhist. But sometimes if both are very strong in their religion, then susah lah, because they will, in the end they will quarrel. The husband wants the children to follow his religion, the wife wants to follow her religion, so very susah.
Do Buddhist fathers who already know Dharma have responsibilities to teach their children Dhamma?
Yes. The Buddha said, if two persons want to be reborn and meet each other again in the next life, 4 things should be the same lah. One is faith, faith in the having the same belief lah, the same religion. Okay. Another one is just as generous or just as selfish lah. And then the third one is just as the sila, just as good or just as bad. They come together. And the fourth one, the wisdom, the same wisdom or the same stupidity, they are born together. So if the father or the parents want the children to be with them again in the next life, these 4 things should be the same lah. They follow the same religion, keep the same sila, be just as generous, and equally the wisdom is equal.
Namo Buddhaya Bante. I want to ask about how's the Buddha's view about homosexual and bisexual, because nowadays homosexual and bisexual become a new trend. Thank you.
Homosexual, lesbianism, gay, transgender. Actually, the Buddha's teachings is very relaxed. It's not very dogmatic, like other religions. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. In Buddhism, the main thing is whether you harm other beings or you don't harm other beings. If you don't harm other beings, okay. If you harm other beings, no, okay. So, only thing is the Buddha says, the Buddha never said we cannot enjoy life. The Buddha said we can enjoy life, but be careful, because if you enjoy too much, there is a danger. So the Buddha said for lay people, it's good to be rich, but use your money wisely. Besides making yourself happy, you should make your family happy, you should make your relatives happy, you should make your friends happy with your money, make your workers happy, make everybody happy. Then you use your money in the right way. But some people, when they have a lot of money, they are very selfish, only want to enjoy themselves. Yeah. So they use up the blessings. After that, they go to a bad rebirth. Yeah. So as far as sexual relations, whether it's gay or lesbian or homosexual, whatever, is in the Buddha's teaching is the same as whether it's a man and a woman. Only thing is the danger is if your sensual lust is too strong, then after you pass away, you might be born as an animal. Because animals have very strong lust. So only thing is just be careful. But if you don't harm others, it's okay. Actually, because Buddhism is so relaxed, that's why we lose a lot of followers, because we don't hold them very tight. But it's Ajahn Buddha Dasa said, because the Mahayanis, they like to call Theravada the Hinayana, the small vehicle, and the Mahayanis, they say they are the big vehicle. So Ajahn Buddha Dasa said, we are the small vehicle because our vehicle only want to carry all the intelligent people. The big vehicle want to carry the Bodo as well, everybody they want to carry.
Bante, I want to ask, how about divorce couple? What is the Buddha's view about divorce?
What about divorce?
Buddha's view.
About divorce?
Yeah.
Actually, the Buddha never talked about divorce. But my personal view is, if people fall in love and they get married, fine. And then one day they fall out of love and they get on each other's nerves. I think it's better to divorce than getting angry with each other the rest of your life. Because I've seen some couples, they after they get married, they are very much in love. First few years, very, very happy. Then later it turns sour. After it turns sour, they still hold on to each other, sometimes for the sake of the children. Yeah. But the surprising thing is, I've seen some couples after when they are old, in their 60s, then they separate. At that time the children have grown up, and then sometimes they cannot stand each other for so many years. Now they think they have done their duty. Now they divorce. So I think to divorce so late, I think it's not so good. If you're not happy, divorce early, then both sides are also happy.
My other question is, do you have any suggestion on how to overcome our anger in everyday life? Because usually we get easily mad.
Before I come to that, this divorce, if two persons, the husband and the wife, they divorce amicably, in a friendly way, that is good. Because you don't hurt the children so much. But very often they fight before they divorce. They fight with each other, and then it harms the children, because the children become very scared when they see their mother and father fighting. Both also they love. And then I've seen some children, after the couple separate, the children mentally they suffer. So it's not good. If you want to divorce in a friendly way. There are some couples after divorce, they're still very friendly, still come together. So it's good to divorce early so that you don't have so much hatred. Coming to anger, two ways lah. One is to understand the Dhamma point of view about anger. The other way is to meditate, make your mind very tranquil. If your mind is very tranquil, then it's not easily shaken. A lot of people, their mind is very scattered. When the mind is very scattered, you press the wrong button, the volcano explode. So meditation is very helpful, but meditation is difficult. Yeah. Then to understand the Dhamma is to see the danger of anger. In the suttas, the Buddha said, if a person is always angry, he will lose a lot of friends. Okay, people don't want to go near angry volcano. And then, secondly, you won't succeed in life. If you join a big company and you are very jovial and you are very friendly with everybody, you come out very fast. You are the type with a lot of anger, you don't get promoted. Last time I had a friend in the university. He is the live wire in the class. He jokes and everybody will laugh, and always cracking very wise jokes. So everybody like him. And then he joined SO and came up to be the CEO because he can mix with everybody. So you can come up, you don't have anger. If you have a lot of anger, you never succeed in life. But the one dangerous thing people don't see is that if you have a lot of anger, you'll be reborn in a realm where all the beings there have a lot of anger. Either in the animal realm, or even if you're born as a ghost, you'll be born as a fierce type of ghost like Dracula, Pontianak. That day I mentioned about the old lady, one of our old supporters told me about the auntie, very nasty character, a lot of anger. 2 days before she died, the long teeth came out, 2 long teeth came out, Dracula teeth came out. Then after she died, the teeth disappeared. She went off as a ghost, fierce ghost. So if you know that, then you'll be scared. I don't want to be reborn with all the fierce ghosts. The other thing bad about anger is a poison in our mind. People who have a lot of anger, sometimes they have migraine, always headache, because it's a poison, poisons our body. Then you have more sickness than other people. You have more anger. And also you're not happy. Anger doesn't make you happy. But if you're always jovial, always joking, always laughing and smiling, then you have mukha manis. If you have a lot of anger, you have an ugly face because your face always very fierce. Born ugly also. People who are born beautiful have a very pleasant character. One of our devotees, everybody call her honey. Sugar. Call her sugar because her character very sweet. Everybody like her.
Bante, I want to ask about the divorce. What if...
About what?
Divorce.
A divorce, yeah. Bercerai.
What if just wife or husband want to divorce and the other side doesn't want?
Oh. Have to see the situation because every case is different. Yeah. So you have to see why that person want to divorce and why the other person don't want to divorce. Yeah.
I want to ask, can Buddhists go to other place of worship, such as going to church and paying respect to Jesus, or going to Hindu temples to pray? Because in my family there is too many religions. Sometimes I go to church and Taoist temple, I'm praying to them. Is it a bad karma or just natural? Thank you, Bhante.
Could not hear very well.
Maksudnya orang esai ki kau teng tengle yaso atau nasa songchiu habjong ye Bunda Maria atau ki hoi kau teng la ki in to amanikon esai ki bo walang hot kau to esai ki ilang e.
Oh, so he's asking whether as a Buddhist you can go to the church and pay respect to Jesus, and you go to a temple, a Hindu temple, and pay respect to the God and all that. You can, because it is not bad karma. But when you already understand the Dhamma, then you find it's not necessary, wasting your time. One man told me, last time he was a Taoist, he always go to the Kelinting, the Taoist temple. And then he see any statue, quickly bow down and pray. After he learned the Dhamma, he said he doesn't pay respect anymore. And also no more afraid. Last time very afraid. When he see a statue with long hair or long tongue, also very scared. And they say after he understood the Dhamma, no more scared. So in the same way, when a person doesn't understand enough of the Dhamma, he thinks all the religion is the same. A lot of people like that. After you study the Dhamma, then you find, it's not the same. And then some people, when they are new in Buddhism, they think, Mahayana and Theravada all the same. Again, it's not all the same. A lot of difference. And then when you come into Theravada, you find again that not all monks teach the same. So I have to be very careful.
And the last one I want to ask, can we give money to the monks who are doing alms round, Pindapata?
Pindapata what?
Bisa hai ang pau ki lai bin bo. Hai lui ki lai bin.
Hai lui à?
Hai ang pau ki ye bat lai bin.
A monk is not allowed to possess money. Not allowed to possess money. So when a monk goes for alms round, he is only supposed to collect food. So that's why when we go on alms round, sometimes people want to give money, we don't accept. Because if we start accepting, everybody, instead of giving food, they just give you money. And it doesn't give Buddhism a good name. Brings down the name of Buddhism. So it's not good for lay people to give money to a monk. You can give money to the monastery, to the vihara, because the monk cannot have his own bank account, cannot have money. Buddha said if a monk can have money, then he can use the money to enjoy what he likes. But it's not that a monk cannot touch money. A monk can touch money. Because in the monk's precepts, suppose lay people drop some money on the floor and the lay person has gone home. The monk is supposed to collect the money, keep aside, and then later find out whose money and give back the money. Or if a lay person drop his gold ring or diamond ring, the monk is supposed to pick it up and keep it, and then later find out who it belongs to and give back. So a monk is allowed to touch money. Only thing is, sometimes when a monk touch money, people get the wrong idea. That, this monk, having a lot of money. So we try not to touch money unless it's necessary.
Oh yeah, Bhante. But in Indonesia, there are old Theravada monks. I give him money and he's just accept it. And there are so many people give him money and he's just accept it.
Yeah, but if a monk wants to practice according to the Buddha's teaching, then he's supposed to educate the people, teach them not to give money. Because like when we started here, the people are used to Mahayana monks. Because this area, most of the Buddhists are Mahayana. So they are used to giving money to Mahayana monks. So when they see us, they want to give money. Then we tell them we cannot accept money, only food. Then at first they are very surprised. And then later they pass the word around, and then people like us because they know we don't accept money. Then they give us more food.
Thank you, Bhante.
Bhante, in these books that I read about meat eating, in the Mahabharata, there are 10 types of meat that were prohibited to monks, such as human meats, horse, dog, snake, and so on. But why is these types of meat is prohibited? Because as far as I'm concerned, meat is meat.
As far as what?
As far as I'm concerned, meat is meat. Well,
Meat is meat.
why differentiate meat?
You know why? Because during the Buddha's time, the monks they practice, they walk here, walk there, and they live up the hill, they live near the kampong. So in the countryside, sometimes the lay people, they kill the wild animals and they eat the wild animals' meat. So for example, they kill a tiger and they cook the tiger meat to eat themselves. But this monk happened to come along and they offer him the tiger meat. Okay, so he doesn't know. He take the tiger meat, he goes to the forest and then he eat, and then he go deeper into the forest to meditate. So what happened? When he start to sweat, the tiger meat, the smell come out. So when the bau come out, the wild animal like the tiger smell, they come and attack him. So if you eat, for example, dog meat, you walk on the street, the dog will all chase after you and bark at you. So that's why the Buddha did not allow. Then the two animals, one is the horse, and the other one is the elephant, belong to the king. So sometimes people steal the king's elephant or the horse, and they slaughter, and then they take to eat. And if the monk eats some of this meat, then people might blame the monk for stealing the meat or what. So there's a reason for all this. I remember the first day you all came, you asked some questions. One was concerning Sir Chai and Sir Su, Jia Che, Jia Chai. Yeah. You see, in Hokkien, we confuse the two lah. We say Jia Che, Jia Chai. In Cantonese is what? Sek So. Sek Chai. So this word Sir Chai and Sir Su, actually the monks practice Sir Chai. Sir Chai is not eating after noon. That means in Malaysia is 1 o'clock. So after 1 o'clock we don't eat ordinary food until the next morning 7 o'clock. That's the meaning of Sir Chai. And Sir Su is vegetarianism. Okay? So people tend to confuse the two. They think it's the same, but it's not the same. Because the Buddha's teaching is that the monks must serve chai. Serve chai, this word chai is the same as puasa, because buka puasa is kai chai. Yeah, if you all know Mandarin, buka puasa is kai chai. So monks, we fast every day. We fast, but it's different from Muslims lah. Muslim fast the whole day and they eat at night, but monks we eat half of the day, then the rest of the day and the whole night we don't eat the normal food lah. Yeah. So when Buddhism came to China, all the monks is serve chai. Yeah. Like Bodhidhamma, he beg for his food. He eat any type of food you give him, provided is allowed lah. And afternoon he won't eat, so he has time to meditate the whole day and maybe at night. But then later, in the year 511, this emperor in China called Liang Wuti, he was a Taoist before, and he associated with the Taoists. So at the age of 40, he became a Buddhist. And then he started to build temple for the Buddhist monks and nunneries and all that. But then after some time, he noticed the monks eat any type of meat, and he was not happy. He said, look at the Taoist priests. The Taoist priests are so clean, so pure. They only eat vegetarian food. So he commanded that all Buddhist monks and nuns in China must eat vegetarian food. So eating vegetarian food is su. But all along, they say monks eat chai. So they still, after they become vegetarians, they still say the monks chai. So in China, when you say chai, they think it's vegetarian. It's not vegetarian. So they confuse the two, chai and su. So actually, like we Theravada monks, we serve chai, but we don't serve su. But the Mahayana monks, Chinese Mahayana monks, they serve su. They are vegetarians. You have to wait a while then.
Bante, just now in the Parita book, I read about that Atasila one. Atasila. There is one sila that says, I will restrain myself from eating at the wrong time. What does this wrong time actually means?
The right time is after dawn. Dawn is when the sun comes up. Yeah, in Malaysia it's 7 o'clock. Until noon. Noon is when the sun is the highest. When the sun is at the highest, you find the masjid, they will start praying. They will shout the chant, yeah. As in Malaysia, it's 1 something. So the right time is from 7 a.m. until about 1 o'clock or 1 something. After that is the wrong time. So you don't eat after 1 o'clock or 1:30 until the next morning 7 a.m. That is the wrong time.
Is there any reason behind that?
Any what?
Reason. Why must be
reason?
Like that?
The reason is firstly, if we eat too much, then our stomach is very full. All the blood go to the stomach, it will be very sleepy. Eat too much is not good for meditation. The Buddha himself ate only 1 meal. The Buddha said he eats at 1 sitting. So at first he wanted the monks to eat at 1 sitting, but some monks they say they cannot stand. Then the Buddha allowed 2 meals. Actually the Buddha did not say he allowed 2 meals. What the Buddha said was, if you go to beg for your food, you come back, you eat. After you eat, the leftover you can keep before noon. You can eat again. So that's why we have breakfast and lunch. But after that we don't eat normal food. Actually, 2 meals for most people is enough. If you don't have a limit, sometimes some people, they can eat the whole day and night. There's one old Thai monk, he told me when he was working in Bangkok, he was very busy. He goes around selling the barber equipment. So it's Monday until Sunday, every day he's working, and the whole day he's working. So in Bangkok, there's many gerai, many stalls selling food. He said one day he can eat 9 times. So he ate so many times, he had a lot of problems, a lot of sickness. So when he had all this sickness, he went to the doctor could not cure him. Then he decided to go to the Wat and keep Attasila. So he keep Attasila, he eat 2 meals a day. After some time, his sickness all disappeared. Then he came out and do his work. Again, after some time, he got sick. And then he went back to the Wat again, he got cured. And then he came out, again he got sick. And then after some thinking, he decided, I don't want to come back. I go to the Wat, I don't want to come out anymore. So he went to the Wat, don't want to come out. And the wife came looking for him. Got 4 children, wife pregnant. Came looking for him from Bangkok, he came to another town, more south. Wife came looking for him, he went further south. Came here until the Malaysian border. Wife still came, he came into Malaysia. Wife cannot follow. 25 years he lived in Malaysia as a monk. Then after so many years, the children all grown up, the wife came looking for him, want to become nun. So he could not get citizenship in Malaysia, he decided to go back. He went back to Thailand, started a cave monastery. I went to stay with him. The wife became a nun, Machi. So you see, you eat too much, you become sick. When you fast, all the sickness go away.
Bante, is it possible for us to take 8 precepts by ourselves?
Can. Actually, as far as the sila is concerned, you're not necessary to chant. If you want to chant, okay. You don't want to chant, also okay. Because if you keep the precepts, you get the merit. The chanting is not important. Suppose as a Buddhist, you keep Pancha Sila, and a Christian keep Pancha Sila. The merit is the same. Because you are both doing the same thing. Yeah? So if you stay at home and you keep Pancha Sila or Atta Sila, you will get the blessings, the merit.
So it is just a need for the will. The will, is it? For the will. Okay. Thank you.
The will to practice.
Bante, how significant can someone's last thought just before death influence his or her following life?
Oh, I mentioned this the other day. I think you didn't notice. I said that it doesn't really help because if the last thoughts, you might have good thoughts before you die, and then after that, the doctor says you have passed away because your breath stopped and your pulse stopped. Yeah, so the doctor said you have died, but actually you have not died. It takes a few more hours before your body cools down. When your body, the corpse becomes cold, then you have really died. Okay, so during the few hours before you actually die, your thoughts are still going. When your thoughts are going, the kind of thoughts you have will decide where you go for rebirth. And the kind of thoughts that you have at that time depends on your karma. So you have a lot of good karma, you'll be thinking of good thoughts. A lot of bad karma, you're thinking of bad thoughts.
Well, actually, I'm asking this because I have heard that when we like focus on, for example, if my last thought that I want to rebirth as a boy, there's strong possibility that I will live my next life, whatever I will be, as a boy.
No, because as I mentioned just now, you can think now I want to become a boy, but after you pass away, then you've forgotten that thought. And then you'll be thinking of something else. And what you'll be thinking, it depends on your karma. And that is the one that will decide where you go for rebirth.
Bante, is it true that reading the Parita when someone is dying, helping the person that is dying to have a good thought?
Say again, the Parita what?
Reading the Parita when someone is dying, helping them to have a good thought.
You can have a good thought, but then after a while when you are dying, you already forgotten that thought. You'll be thinking of something else. As I mentioned, the doctor say you have passed away. If it takes another 3 hours before your body cools down, during that 3 hours you'll be thinking a lot of thoughts. And that the thoughts that you are thinking depends on your karma.
Bante, I ever heard about a case where the doctor has prescribed a person that he or she is already died. But after several days or maybe weeks, the person came back alive. I ever read a book that it says our brain cannot stand without oxygen more than 40 minutes. Is there any Buddhist perception, Buddhist view towards this kind of case?
Yes. When a person is in deep samadhi, for example, there is a state called cessation of perception and feeling. In that state called cessation of perception and feeling, the consciousness also stops. And the breathing also stops. And Arahant can enter that state for 7 days maximum. So without breathing, he can survive for 7 days. But normally, a person having passed away, he doesn't revive after so many days. Generally after 2 days, 3 days, that person revive.
Is it possible that this case happened to those who are not arahants?
It can happen. There are some people who have died, and then they come alive again. And usually this happens for between 10 minutes and 20 minutes, that person has died. And what happened is, there is a book written by one, I think Dr. Moody. He interviewed about 150 people who died either accident or in the operating theatre in the hospital. And then after that they came back to life again. And then they described how when they died, they came out of the body. It seems like they go through a tunnel and then come out of the body, and then they are standing outside the body. They can see the body and they can see all the doctors trying to revive him. And then after some time they don't know where to go. And then some of them, they say that after a while they see a bright light from very far flying towards them. And this being is full of light. And then this being has a lot of metta. And then this being asks him whether ask this dead person whether he's willing to go yet. and this person is not sure. And then this being of light, he'll show him like a movie like that, show him all the deeds that he has done, the good deeds and the bad deeds. And you'll see very fast, like a video like that. Then this person feels very comfortable with this being of light, because this being of light has a lot of metta. So he wants to follow that being to go off. But then sometimes, because the family is crying or something, and the attachment is there, then that person comes back. Usually it's like this. And then there are some, they seem to be dead for a longer period, and then they seem to have gone to different realms, and then because they still have attachment, they come back.
Bande, can an arahant be in this state of samadhi for 7 days, or can it be even longer than 7 days?
For this cessation of perception and feeling, the maximum is 7 days. Maybe other lower states of samadhi can be longer.
Or lower states of samadhi can be longer?
Possibly.
I ask this because there are certain yogis who actually, they describe that they are in a state of bliss, and they are not conscious of the surroundings. But when they come out, and in what they think is only about maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, a span of 13 days have passed. A span of 13 days, 1-3. So I was wondering whether, how this thing is.
Bante, if a non-Buddhist person asks me, who is your God, then what I should tell to him?
Who is your what?
Who is your God?
Okay, in Buddhism, we in certain countries like Indonesia and Malaysia, we cannot say we don't have a God. So we only say that our God is not a human being. Our God is not a deva. Our God is not a makhluk, a being. Actually, I was told during Emperor, this President Suharto's time, if your religion doesn't have a God, he don't accept. So Buddhism had to explain. So I think this last time this Sangharaja of this Sangha Agung, he quoted I don't know, Udana or Iti Vutaka. There's a saying by the Buddha. The Buddha said, there is an unborn, there is an uncreated, there is an unconditioned. If there were not the unborn, if there were not the uncreated, if there were not unconditioned, there would not be an escape from the born, the created, the conditioned. So the practice of Buddhism is to become one with the unborn, the uncreated, the unconditioned, going back to our original home. So that is our concept of God. Because God is unborn, God is uncreated, God is unconditioned, yeah? So nobody can say we don't have a God. Only thing, our God is not the type of God that is jealous, not the type of God that can be angry, not the type of God that can be revengeful, like the Christian God. No such thing. So actually our concept of God, like this unborn, uncreated, unconditioned, the Buddha said is profound, very profound. Actually, in I think in Islam, they say that actually God cannot be described. Yeah? It's same as in Taoism, original Taoism. Original Taoism consists of a book called the Tao Te Ching, written by Lao Tzu. And in that book, Lao Tzu says, that which can be described is not the eternal Tao. So the eternal Tao or God cannot be described. So our unborn, uncreated, all that also cannot be described.
Bante, I want to ask if someone's, is it a good thought that when someone's dying, his mind is with, I give up with my life?
What do you mean, I give up my life?
In Indonesia, maybe pasrah, give up, don't have energy to, don't have spirit, don't have the spirit to continue his life. So it like just be as it will be.
Actually, when a person is dying, normally a normal person will not want to die, because the greatest desire of all beings is the will to live. There is no desire stronger than the will to live. So only when a person understands the Dhamma, then he can let go. So whatever a person says, you can say, but actually whether you believe it or not is another thing. For example, one doctor, he was looking after terminally ill cancer patients that cannot be cured anymore. He told me that one old lady always complained to him. He said, why can't I die? I'm suffering, I'm old enough, I can't wait to go. He always complained like that. But actually on the day that she was going to die, she was so scared. She don't want to go. She hugged the daughter, she don't want to go. But her time has come, so she has to go. So you can say one thing, but inside you is whether you believe it or not. What you say doesn't matter, it's really inside you, what you believe. Yeah?
Bante, I want to ask, according to the Tipitaka, there is a quote that says, when the Buddha birthed, he can walk for 7 steps. It is true or just legend?
He can what? Walk? Oh, after he was born, he walks
7 steps.
7 steps. I personally don't believe. I don't believe, because before the Buddha was enlightened, he was an ordinary baby. He was ordinary. Nobody knows that he's the Buddha. So sometimes some of these stories, because they put the Buddha very high, so they say all these things. When people worship somebody, they like to believe all these things, just like they say that Jesus was born from the Holy Mary, who was a virgin. If she's a virgin, how can she give birth to the Jesus? Even the Brahmins also, they say they are born from the mouth of Brahma. But Jesus told them, how can you say you are born from the mouth of Brahma? Everybody knows you are born from your mother's womb.
Bante, I want to ask, you said that many people usually don't want to die. But how about people who commit suicide?
That's why just now I say you can say one thing, but inside you actually, the people who commit suicide, they want to end their suffering. That's why they want to die. But actually, they still hold on to life. I know a person, his karma is no good, so he tried to commit suicide a few times, he did not succeed. One day he decided to jump into the mining pond, like we have some mining pond here. So he jumped into the pond. When he started to drink water, he got panicked. He swam to the shore. Then after that, he did not commit suicide anymore because he realized actually he don't want to die. A few years ago, I saw in the newspaper, one young man in Singapore, he jumped from a very high building, commit suicide. After he jumped, he shouted, "I don't want to die." Too late, too late.
But if someone succeeds at committing suicide, where will he be reborn?
If a person commits suicide, it means that person's mind is very disturbed. Yeah. Sometimes it's not that person has done bad karma. Sometimes, sometimes we have here in Malaysia, some women always quarrel with the husband. Then she cannot stand because the husband is a drunkard. Drink, come back, beat her, beat the children. So she go and, when the train is coming, she go and jump in front of the train and the body is smashed. It's a very silly way to go, very painful way to go. So because the mind is very disturbed, when she dies, she will go to a place where the mind is very disturbed, like a ghost. The ghost is crying at night. Mind is very disturbed. That's why you see places like where people commit suicide. The ghost is around there. If you go there at night, you might see the ghost. Or the ghost will kacau you. Mike.
Oh, Bante, I ever heard that ghosts are really like to hear Dhamma. For example, we gather like in a place like this and talk about Dhamma thing. Can ghosts hear what we are discussing about?
Ghosts can hear, but ghost minds are too disturbed. They cannot understand the Dhamma. The mind is very disturbed. So in the sutta, the Buddha said, the cemetery, the kubo, is an unclean place. The Buddha said in the cemetery, the ghosts, they are crying. The mind is very disturbed. So it's like a madman. If you bring a madman here and you teach the Dhamma, will the madman be able to understand? Cannot. The mind is disturbed. But Devas will want to listen. Devas and Devis will come to listen. Last time when I was in Medan, there was one man. He brought the driver. The driver used to be, I don't know, Catholic, I think. and the driver can see spirit. So he said when there's a Dhamma talk, you can see the Devi sitting up there and listening to the Dhamma, I said.
I thought Buddha's recommended the charnel ground as one of the places for the monks to meditate. So if what's the difference between a charnel ground and a cemetery? Aren't the spirits all there?
Yeah, charnel ground and the cemetery is the same because this is where they put the corpse. But the Buddha did not actually recommend monks to meditate in a charnel ground. The monks go to the charnel ground to contemplate the corpse. They don't go there to sit down in meditation, just to see the corpse, see how it is rotting. And monks normally will go to a cave or up the hill or below a tree to meditate. A quiet place, an aranya.
Bante, is there any recommended object for meditations for student rather than anapanasati?
Another recommended object of meditation for what?
Students. Huh? Students. Like us, I mean,
students,
learners, yeah.
Oh, actually, the first meditation the Buddha taught was the 32 parts of the body, where you chant, I chant in English, head, hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bone, marrow, kidney, heart, liver, midriff, spleen, lung, bowel, entrail, gorge, dung, brain, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, grease, spittle, snot, oil of the joint, urine. So you can chant two ways. One is you chant very fast, that is a concentration exercise to keep your mind concentrated. Because if you chant long, the mind doesn't run away so easy. If you chant Omitofo, it's easy for the mind to run. So the other way of practicing is you chant slowly. Head, hair, then you contemplate head, hair. Then body hair, you contemplate body hair one by one. But certain parts, when it comes to like lung, you haven't seen a lung before, how to contemplate? So if you really want to contemplate, what I did last time was I asked somebody to go to the market, go and buy the pig lung. Buy the pig lung, because the pig lung is very similar to the human lung. So you touch the lung, see whether it's soft, how it looks like, and then you know it's easier to contemplate. Then even the pig's heart. So they bring me the pig's heart, and I touch the pig's heart, very similar to the human heart. So that way. So this is the first meditation the Buddha taught, because the Buddha realized that we are all attached to the body. And when we contemplate these parts of the body, then we find the body is not so attractive after all. You see somebody very handsome or somebody very beautiful, when you think of all the body parts, not so attractive anymore. So it helps to cut lust. But for students, it's good to still your mind, and you don't have time to meditate a lot. So easy way is to do chanting. Whenever you can, a simple chant is Namo Buddhaya. Just Namo Buddhaya. And if you think your mind runs away, when you're walking, one step Namo, the other step Buddhaya, another step Namo, another step Buddhaya. So you synchronize the chanting with your walking, then the mind doesn't run away so easy. Or if you are sitting in meditation, you synchronize it with your breath. One breath goes in, you say Namo. The breath goes out, you say Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya, like that. And I mentioned the other day, you press your finger so that your mind does not run. Now, if you can learn to focus your mind, that is very good for you, because your concentration will help you in your studies. We have one monk in Australia, he's quite well known, he's called Ajahn Brahm. He studied in Cambridge University, one of the top universities, and he studied theoretical physics, which is they did an investigation. People who study theoretical physics, maths, electrical or electronic engineering, they are the smartest people in the world. So he said that when he went for the exam, all the students all last minute trying to study and remember. But he, 1 hour before the exam, he put down his books, went to meditate. So he meditate, calm his mind, because you want to go to the exam room, must not be too excited. Just like you want to go for a sports competition, you're too excited, you cannot perform well. So even in Thailand, those boxers, Muay Thai, kickboxing, before they go and fight, they sit down and meditate. Those are the best boxers. So Ajahn Brahm said he meditate 1 hour. Then time for the exam, he walk into the hall very calm, and then can remember. So before your exam, sit down and meditate. But the best thing is like every morning you get up a bit early. If you want to meditate half an hour, you get up half an hour earlier than you normally get up, which means you have to sleep half an hour earlier than you normally sleep. As a student, you should not cram study so much that you don't have enough sleep. You need at least 6 hours of sleep. At least 6 hours. Then what you study you can remember. You don't have enough sleep, you study too much also no use, you cannot remember. If you find 6 hours not enough, then 7 hours. You have to judge yourself. If your body is stronger, then you need less sleep. If your body is weaker, you need a bit more sleep. Also, you must learn to balance, because if you study all the time, very boring, then you find it difficult to remember. So sometimes you must entertain yourself. Go and do something you like to do, and then you come back to study, then you have the heart to study. There's a saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Okay, maybe we have enough. I hope you're satisfied that all the things you wanted to know about the Dhamma you have learned enough. Tomorrow, what time you are leaving? 1 o'clock. Or not after breakfast? After lunch? Good. Yeah. Originally it's supposed to be after breakfast, yeah? Originally. Good. You want to go anywhere tomorrow morning? Want to go anywhere? Clean the place, clean the dormitory, sweep the floor, mop the room. Hope you all enjoy your stay here. Next time, holiday, can come again. So go back, listen to the sutta, whatever CDs and books you want, you take. And then remember, try to meditate every morning a little bit. If you don't practice, when it comes to exam time, you want to meditate, tak boleh lah. Come, we invite the Devas and Devis to rejoice with us. Itta vata cha amhehi.